The Lost Town. Chapter 1. Seeking Solitude. Emma was tired. The city was noisy and busy. She wanted peace. I need a break, she thought. I will go to the countryside. She packed a bag and got into her blue convertible. The sun was setting as she drove away from the city. The road was long and quiet. Emma felt happy. She loved the fresh air and the green trees. This is nice, she said to herself. The sky turned dark and stars appeared. Emma smiled. She felt free. Hours passed. Emma's car was the only one on the road. She turned on the radio and sang along to her favorite songs. This is the best decision I have made in a long time, she thought. Suddenly the car made a strange noise. Oh no, Emma said, worried. She pulled over to the side of the road and got out. She opened the hood of the car and looked inside. I don't know anything about cars, she thought, feeling helpless. Emma looked around. There were no houses or people. She felt a bit scared. What should I do? She wondered. Just then, she saw a light in the distance. A person was walking towards her with a lantern. Hello, Emma called out. The person came closer. It was a young man with a friendly face. Hi, I'm Lucas, he said. Do you need help? Yes, please, Emma replied. My car broke down, and I don't know what to do. Lucas looked at the car. I can help you, he said, but we need to go to my town. It's not far from here. Emma felt relieved. Thank you so much, she said with a smile. I'm Emma. Nice to meet you, Emma, Lucas said. Follow me. It's just a short walk. As they walked, Emma felt curious. Why is there a town here? She thought. I didn't see it on the map. But she was also glad to have found help. Lucas and Emma walked down a quiet, narrow path. Emma could hear the sound of crickets and the wind in the trees. It was peaceful. They walked for about 10 minutes. Then, Emma saw lights ahead. Is that your town? She asked. Yes, Lucas said. Welcome to our town. We don't get many visitors, so everyone will be happy to see you. And with that, they entered the town, and Emma's adventure began. Chapter 2. An Unexpected Meeting. The town was small and very pretty. There were old houses and small gardens. This place is beautiful, Emma said. Lucas smiled. I'm glad you like it, he said. Come, let's find some help for your car. They walked to a small house. Lucas knocked on the door. An old man opened it. Hello, Mr. Thomas, Lucas said. This is Emma. Her car broke down. Can we help her? Mr. Thomas smiled. Of course, he said. Come in, Emma. Emma felt welcome. She stepped inside the house. It was warm and cozy. Thank you, she said. I am very grateful. Please, sit down, Mr. Thomas said. Emma sat on a chair. Lucas and Mr. Thomas talked quietly. Then Mr. Thomas turned to Emma. We will fix your car in the morning, he said. For now you can stay here. You must be tired. Emma nodded. Yes, I am very tired, she said. Thank you very much. Lucas smiled at Emma. I will show you to your room, he said. Emma followed him up the stairs. The room was small but nice. There was a bed with a warm blanket. Thank you, Lucas, Emma said. You are very kind. You are welcome, Emma, Lucas said. Rest well. Good night. Good night, Emma said. She lay down on the bed and closed her eyes. She felt safe and happy. This town is special, she thought. Soon she was asleep. In the morning, Emma woke up early. She felt rested and ready for the day. She went downstairs and found Lucas and Mr. Thomas in the kitchen. They were having breakfast. Good morning, Emma said. Did you sleep well? Lucas asked. Yes, very well, Emma said. Thank you. Sit down and have some breakfast, Mr. Thomas said. Emma sat down and enjoyed the food. It was simple, but delicious. After breakfast, we will go to your car, Lucas said. We will fix it together. Emma smiled. Thank you, Lucas, she said. You are a good friend. Lucas smiled back. Let's finish our breakfast first, he said. Then we will get started. Emma felt happy and thankful. She knew that this town and its people were special. She was glad to have met Lucas and Mr. Thomas. This was going to be a good day. Chapter 3. The Enigmatic Town. After breakfast, Lucas and Emma left the house. The sun was shining, and the town looked beautiful. This way, Lucas said, leading Emma down a narrow street. They passed small, pretty houses. Each house had flowers in front of it. Your town is very charming, Emma said. Thank you, Lucas replied. We take good care of it. They reached a small shop. An old woman stood outside. Good morning, Lucas, she said. Who is this? This is Emma, Lucas said. Her car broke down. We are helping her. The old woman smiled. Nice to meet you, Emma, she said. Nice to meet you too, Emma replied. Your town is lovely. Thank you, dear, the old woman said. Enjoy your stay. Emma and Lucas continued walking. Emma noticed people dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Why do they dress like that? She wondered. She felt like she was in a different time. They reached the edge of the town, where Emma's car was parked. Here is your car, Lucas said. Let's see what's wrong. Lucas opened the hood and looked inside. I think it's the engine, he said. But don't worry, we can fix it. Emma watched as Lucas worked on the car. You are very good at this, she said. Thank you, Lucas replied. I enjoy fixing things. After a while, Lucas closed the hood. I need a part to fix your car, he said. It will take some time. That's okay, Emma said. I can wait. While we wait, I can show you the town, Lucas suggested. Would you like that? Yes, I would love that, Emma said. Thank you, Lucas. They walked back into the town. Lucas showed Emma the park, the school, and the old church. Emma felt happy and relaxed. This place is like a dream, she thought. They sat on a bench in the park. Children were playing, and the air was filled with laughter. Do you like our town? Lucas asked. Yes, very much, Emma said. It is peaceful and beautiful. Lucas smiled. I am glad you like it, he said. We are happy you are here. Emma felt a warm feeling in her heart. She felt like she belonged. Thank you, Lucas, she said. You and your town are wonderful. Lucas looked at Emma. We are happy to have you here, he said. Chapter 4. Immersed in Nostalgia. Emma and Lucas walked back to Mr. Thomas's house. The sun was high in the sky and it was warm. Let's have some lunch, Lucas said. Mr. Thomas makes great soup. That sounds nice, Emma said with a smile. They entered the house and the smell of soup filled the air. Welcome back, Mr. Thomas said. Sit down and enjoy some lunch. Emma and Lucas sat at the table. Mr. Thomas served them bowls of hot soup. Thank you, Emma said. She tasted the soup. This is delicious. I'm glad you like it, Mr. Thomas said, smiling. As they ate, Emma looked around the house. There were many old things, a clock on the wall, a wooden radio, and photos in black and white frames. This house is like a museum, Emma thought. After lunch, Lucas said, Let me show you my favorite place. Emma followed him outside. They walked to a small hill with a big tree. The view from the top was beautiful. They could see the whole town. This is where I come to think, Lucas said. It is very peaceful. Emma sat under the tree. It's wonderful, she said. I can see why you like it here. Lucas sat next to her. Tell me about your life in the city, he said. Emma thought for a moment. The city is busy and loud, she said. There are many people in tall buildings. It is very different from your town. Do you like it? Lucas asked. Sometimes, Emma said. But sometimes it is too much. That's why I came here. I needed a break. Lucas nodded. I understand, he said. I like the quiet life here. Emma looked at Lucas. You are lucky to live in such a beautiful place, she said. Lucas smiled. Thank you, he said. We try to keep it special. They sat in silence for a while, enjoying the view. Emma felt calm and happy. She felt connected to Lucas and the town. This place is magical, she thought. As the sun began to set, Lucas said, We should go back now. Mr. Thomas will be waiting for us. Emma stood up. Okay, she said. Thank you for showing me this place. It is very special. You are welcome, Lucas said. I'm glad you liked it. They walked back to the house, feeling close and happy. She felt like she had found a new friend and a place where she belonged. Chapter 5. An Ominous Secret. The sun was setting as Emma and Lucas returned to Mr. Thomas's house. The sky was orange and pink. It's beautiful, Emma said, looking at the sunset. Yes, it is, Lucas replied, but we must hurry. They entered the house. Mr. Thomas was waiting for them. Dinner is ready, he said. Please, sit down. Emma and Lucas sat at the table. There was bread, cheese, and fruit. This looks delicious, Emma said. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. As they ate, Emma noticed Lucas looked worried. Is everything okay? She asked him. Lucas hesitated. Yes, but we need to talk after dinner, he said quietly. Emma felt a little nervous. What does he want to talk about? She wondered. After dinner, Mr. Thomas cleared the table. Lucas turned to Emma. Can we talk outside? He asked. Of course, Emma said. She followed Lucas out to the garden. They sat on a bench. The night was quiet and dark. Lucas looked at Emma with serious eyes. Emma, you have to leave tonight, he said. Emma was surprised. Why? She asked. I like it here. I don't want to go. It is not safe, Lucas said. You must leave before midnight. Emma felt confused. But why? She asked. What is wrong? Lucas took a deep breath. Our town is special, he said. It only appears for 1 day every 10 years. After midnight, it disappears. Emma's eyes widened. What do you mean? She asked. Lucas looked sad. Our town is from the past, he said. We live here like it was many years ago. At midnight, the town goes back to that time. If you stay, you will be trapped. Emma felt a chill. That is why everything seems old, she thought. She felt scared and sad. I don't want to leave you, Lucas, she said. I don't want you to leave either, Lucas said. But you must. It is for your safety. Emma felt tears in her eyes. I have to go back to my time, she thought. She looked at Lucas. Will I ever see you again? She asked. Lucas nodded. In 10 years the town will appear again, he said. I will be here, waiting for you. Emma felt a little better. I will come back, she promised. I will find you. Lucas smiled sadly. I know you will, he said. But now, you must go. Emma stood up. Goodbye, Lucas, she said. I will never forget you. Goodbye, Emma, Lucas said. Be safe. Emma walked back to her car with a heavy heart. She looked back at Lucas one last time. He waved, and she waved back. Then she got in her car and drove away, tears dropping from her eyes. Chapter 6. The Unveiling. Emma drove away from the town with a heavy heart. The road was dark, and she felt alone. I miss Lucas already, she thought. Tears ran down her cheeks. After driving for an hour, Emma saw the lights of a small village. She stopped at a gas station. An old man was sitting outside. Excuse me, Emma said. Can you help me with some petrol? Of course, the old man said. He filled her car with petrol. Emma wanted to ask him about the town, but she was nervous. Thank you, Emma said. She decided to be brave. Do you know a town nearby with old houses and people in old clothes? She asked. The old man looked at her strangely. No, there is no town like that around here, he said. But I was just there, Emma insisted. I met a boy named Lucas. They helped me when my car broke down. The old man thought for a moment. Wait, he said. Are you talking about the ghost town? Emma felt a chill. Ghost town? She asked. The Lost Town. Chapter 1. Seeking Solitude. Emma's heart raced. That's it, she said. I was there today. The old man looked at her with wide eyes. You saw the town? He asked. And the people? Yes, Emma said. They were very kind. Lucas told me to leave before midnight. The old man nodded. He was right, he said. If you stayed, you would be trapped there. Emma felt a mix of fear and relief. I can't believe it, she said. It was like a dream. The old man smiled. It is a special place, he said. You are lucky to have seen it. Emma thanked the old man and got back into her car. She drove to a nearby inn and got a room for the night. As she lay in bed, she thought about Lucas and the town. It was real, she thought. I was really there. The next morning, Emma woke up early. She felt a strong need to learn more about the town. She went to the village library and asked the librarian for help. Do you have any books about the ghost town? She asked. The librarian nodded. Yes, we do, she said. She brought Emma a book about local legends. Emma sat down and read the book. It told the story of a town that burned down many years ago. The people were kind and lived simple lives. Every 10 years, the town reappears for one day. Emma felt tears in her eyes. This is Lucas's town, she thought. I really was there. She read more about the town's history. The book said that many people who visited the town felt a strong connection to it. They fell in love with the town and its people, Emma read. Emma closed the book and thought about Lucas. I will come back in 10 years, she promised herself. I will find Lucas again. With a heavy heart, but a sense of hope, Emma left the library. She knew she had experienced something very special. I will never forget Lucas and the town, she thought. I will wait for the day I can return. Chapter 7. The Quest for Answers. Emma drove back to the spot where the town had been. She looked around, but there was nothing, just an empty field. It was right here, she thought. Where did it go? She walked around, hoping to find a clue, but there were only flowers and trees. Emma decided to learn more about the ghost town. She visited a local historian named Mr. Smith. His office was full of old books and maps. Hello, Emma said. I need to know about the ghost town that appears every 10 years. Mr. Smith looked at Emma with interest. Ah, the legend of the lost town, he said. What do you want to know? I was there yesterday, Emma said. I met the people. They helped me. But now, the town is gone. Mr. Smith's eyes widened. You were there? He asked. That is amazing. Tell me everything. Emma told him about meeting Lucas, Mr. Thomas, and the old-fashioned town. Mr. Smith listened carefully. This is incredible, he said. Most people think it is just a story. But it is real, Emma insisted. I saw it with my own eyes. Mr. Smith nodded. I believe you, he said. The town was destroyed many years ago in a fire, but some say it comes back for one day every 10 years. Why does it come back? Emma asked. No one knows for sure, Mr. Smith said. Some say it is because of a curse. Others say it is because of a deep love that ties the people to this place. Emma thought about Lucas and the people in the town. They were very kind, she said. I felt like I belonged there. Mr. Smith smiled. The town has a way of touching people's hearts, he said. You are not the first to feel this way. Emma felt a little better. "What can I do?" she asked. "I want to see Lucas again." Mr. Smith thought for a moment. "You must wait for the next time the town appears," he said. "In 10 years it will come back. You can find it again." Emma felt hopeful. "I will wait," she said. "I will be here." Mr. Smith nodded. "Good luck," he said. "It is a rare and special thing to find the lost town." Emma left Mr. Smith's office. She spent the next few days thinking about the town and Lucas. She wrote in her journal about her experience. "I want to remember every detail," she thought. Emma also told her friends about the town. Some of them didn't believe her, but others were fascinated. "You are lucky," one friend said. "It sounds like a beautiful place." "It is," Emma agreed. "I can't wait to go back." As the days turned into weeks and months, Emma kept busy. She went back to her life in the city, but she never forgot the town. She counted the years, waiting for the day she could return. Emma knew it would be a long wait, but she was patient. "I will see Lucas again," she thought. "And this time, I will stay." Chapter 8. The Reunion. 10 years passed, and Emma never forgot about Lucas and the ghost town. She kept the memory close to her heart. Finally, the day came. "Today is the day," Emma thought. "I will see Lucas again." Emma drove to the place where she had seen the town. The sun was setting, just like before. Her heart was full of hope and excitement. "I hope it is real," she thought. "I hope the town appears." As the sky turned dark, Emma saw a faint light in the distance. "It's happening," she whispered. She followed the light just like before. Soon Emma saw the town again. The old houses, the small gardens, and the cobblestone streets were all there. It was like stepping back in time. Emma felt a rush of emotions. "It's real," she thought. "I am really here." She walked into the town, looking for Lucas. She saw Mr. Thomas first. "Hello, Mr. Thomas," she said. "Do you remember me?" Mr. Thomas looked at her and smiled. "Emma," he said. "Welcome back. We missed you." Emma felt tears in her eyes. "I missed you too," she said. "Where is Lucas?" "He is at the hill," Mr. Thomas said. "He has been waiting for you." Emma thanked Mr. Thomas and ran to the hill. Her heart was pounding with excitement. As she reached the top, she saw Lucas sitting under the big tree. He looked just the same, young and handsome. "Lucas!" Emma called out. Lucas turned and saw Emma. He stood up and smiled. "Emma, you came back," he said. Emma ran to him and hugged him tightly. "I missed you so much," she said. "I promised I would come back." "I knew you would," Lucas said. "I have waited for you every day." Emma looked at Lucas with tears in her eyes. "I don't want to leave again," she said. "I want to stay with you." Lucas held her hand. "You can stay," he said. "But you must understand. If you stay, you will be part of our time." Emma nodded. "I know," she said. "I am ready. I want to be with you." Lucas smiled. "Then let's go back to the town," he said. "We have so much to talk about." They walked back to the town hand in hand. Emma felt happy and at peace. She knew she had made the right choice. "This is where I belong," she thought. That night, the town was full of light and joy. People welcomed Emma back with open arms. "Welcome home," they said. Emma felt a deep sense of belonging. She knew she was where she was meant to be. She looked at Lucas and smiled. "We are together now," she said. "And I will never leave." As the night went on, Emma felt a magical connection to the town and its people. She knew she had found her true home. The town may have been lost in time, but for Emma, it was a place of love and happiness. From that day on, Emma and Lucas lived happily in the town. They shared their days with joy and their nights with love. Emma never regretted her decision. She had found a timeless love in a magical place. And every 10 years, when the town appeared again, people would see Emma and Lucas together, walking hand in hand, a symbol of love that transcends time. Emma's quest had led her to a love that was eternal, and she knew she would always be home. The end. The story is aligned with the A1 level of the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, CEFR, which is the beginner level. Here are 5 phrases from the story with their meanings and examples from both the story and real life. 1. Petrol. Meaning: a liquid fuel used in cars and other vehicles. Example from the story. Can you help me with some petrol? Emma asked the old man at the gas station. Example in real life. I need to stop at the gas station to fill up my car with petrol before we go on our road trip. 2. Ghost town. Meaning: a town that has been abandoned and is no longer inhabited. Example from the story. Are you talking about the ghost town? The old man asked Emma. Example in real life. After the mine closed, the town became a ghost town, with empty buildings and no people. 3. Legend. Meaning: a traditional story sometimes popularly regarded as historical but not authenticated. Example from the story. Ah, the legend of the lost town, Mr. Smith said. Example in real life. According to legend, a giant once lived in the mountains and protected the village. 4. Reappear. Meaning: to appear again or come into sight after having disappeared. Example from the story. The town was destroyed many years ago in a fire, but some say it comes back for one day every 10 years. Example in real life. After being out of print for decades, the rare book will reappear in a special edition next month. 5. Belong. Meaning: to be in the right place or a suitable situation. Example from the story. This is where I belong, Emma thought. Example in real life. She always felt like she belonged in the countryside, far from the busy city life. Here are 3 things the reader can learn from the story. 1. The power of love and patience. 2. Belief in the unseen. 3. Courage to follow your heart. This story and voiceover have been provided by English Made Easy. Learn through stories. Copying or re-uploading is strictly prohibited.